Welcome back to the R-Rated Podcast. The R-Rated Podcast. This week's guest is... Welcome back to the R-Rated Podcast. I know it's not usual for me to be sitting here alone that often, but I'm going to be honest, couldn't get a guest for this week. It's been crazy with my schedule at work. As you know, I'm working on Fatal Attraction, and it's been pretty wild. I've been really busy. I've been working 65-hour plus weeks, so it's been a little bit difficult to try to squeeze in coordinating a guest in time that matches with the schedule that I'm having. So this week didn't work out as planned. I wasn't able to get a guest in time, but I have so many things to catch up on and so many things to let you guys know and review. So let's just get into it. Let's start with Moulin Rouge. First of all, yes, I went to my first musical back. Sorry, not my first musical, but like my first musical back since COVID hit. I haven't been able to go see anything. I've been going to a couple independent plays, stuff that, you know, my friends have put on and stuff, but a real musical with like a fucking real budget. This is what I'm talking about. Like, I was so ready, so excited to go. It was a very last minute decision, which I think that's what makes it even more fun, because I wasn't like, I don't know, when things are spontaneous and not planned, it's just something makes it even more magical than it is. So back to Moulin Rouge. If you guys haven't watched the movie or don't know about the movie or the play, the musical, let me give a little bit of backstory. It is based on the Moulin Rouge, the movie, set in Paris. I mean, Paris. Already such a good start. Like, it starts in Paris. And it's about Satine. She is a dancer at the Moulin Rouge. I guess the most similar thing I could compare it to with like modern day movie would be like Burlesque. If you guys have seen the movie Burlesque with Christina Aguilera and Cher, you can kind of take that and mix it with, I would say that's a good reference for Moulin Rouge. It's just like, it's like kind of like the same premise. Like, you know, girl works at this like club might get shut down. There's this guy who has like possession or ownership of the club, or is going to take over the club, that likes the main girl, the main dancer. She's the only one that can save the club, but her heart is set with someone else who doesn't own the club. So it's like this like fucking messy love triangle. But what we don't know until the end of the movie is that not only does she have to deal with a love triangle, because that's always so difficult, but she also has a really, really big secret, a fatal secret, I should say. And I'm not saying fatal because I'm working on the show Fatal Attraction. It's actually a fatal disease that she ends up hiding, and she only has so long to live. That's all I want to say. I'm not going to give it all away. But anyway, that's what the movie is about. So as you can imagine, the musical is probably going to be very similar to the movie, which I would say it was similar, but it was also very different. I mean, they really put their like modern spin to it. There was a lot of like songs that like they played a lot of Britney, they played Rihanna. I mean, they even sang like Pharrell Williams at one point. Like, they had a little bit of everything. I would say they included every age group really well in the musical, which I think is important. You got to include your audience. You don't want it to only feel like certain, you know, people of the crowd can relate to it. Like, that wouldn't be fun, right? So I think they did a really great job with picking the right songs, you know, really like having the audience move. I felt like I was dancing and moving more than like you usually do at a musical, or maybe it's just been a while and I just like was feeding off the energy off this like theater and audience. Like, it was just like so fun and so immersive. It was at the Pantages in Hollywood, literally right on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. So it was like probably the second best thing to go into a Broadway show. I've actually never been to a Broadway show, so that is definitely on my list. When I went to New York to go to my film. One of my short films, Miho, was playing at a film festival at the New York Independent Film Festival. I think that's what it was called. And I wanted to go see a Broadway show so bad, but Broadway was closed because of COVID. Not saying that COVID is over, but we did have to wear masks inside, which wasn't like the end of the world, but I get why. Like, you're sitting so close together. It's like you're literally like breathing on each other. So I get it. Also, can I just like take a second and applaud like the stage presence that I witnessed on stage? It was just like so fascinating. Like, I always forget how different it is to watch someone perform on stage than the difference like of watching someone perform a scene for a movie or a TV show. Um, you have to be over exaggerated when you act, especially like you want to be able to like have it come out on screen, but you don't need to do too much because like the camera's gonna capture it. It's like this close to your face, like we're gonna see it. But when you're on stage at a theater, like the person in the way back has to feel that energy, and like it's just such a different experience. And I feel like since that is the vibe of a musical, like you're just like super immersed in it. Like it's really hard not to be. Um, Honestly, the costumes were 10 out of 10. It was so fun to watch everybody changing their different costumes. Dresses were flying, flowing, sparkling, sheer, see-through, lace. Like it was very Paris, very hot. I'm like, how do you not enjoy watching all these attractive people dance, right? Um, but it was just really cool because it had their own like modern twist to it. Um, let alone the stage. Let's talk about the stage. Um, Stages are everything, I feel like, when you are at a play or a musical. Like your backdrop really like sets the tone of the show. I feel like maybe as a stage performer you get really like caught up. I mean, as you should. If you're a stage performer, you should get caught up in like how you're performing on stage, right? Is like, are you giving that energy? But what was interesting to me is how much detail they put into the set. These are things that I was like, oh my god. When you walk into the theater, it's like a heart-shaped stage, and it's like a 3D heart. Like it just like keeps going back and back, so it feels like the stage is like almost like endless. But it was just like really cute, and so like it's so eye-catching. I felt like, and then like it was like different lights, and it was like it would go from like red, purple, pink. Like it was just like really cute. Like it felt like I was in a real life like play musical rave. Like like there was so much going on. Um, but for being my first play musical back, I would say 10 out of 10. I highly recommend. It was a great show. I think they have shows all the way until September. So if you're interested in seeing Moulin Rouge, the musical, I highly recommend it. It was super cool. Oh my God, another funny story. I met another Priscilla at the play. No, she wasn't performing. She was actually helping me with my ticket. But it was really cool because she was super nice. She's like, I'm Priscilla. And I was like, you're Priscilla? Oh, yeah. I saw her name tag. I'm like, you are Priscilla. I was like, I never meet Priscillas. And we instantly bonded. So shout out Priscilla that works at the Pantages. You're awesome. Anyway, I highly recommend it as a date night, a girls' night out, or even if you are just wanting to get out and do something spontaneous, go by yourself. You don't need to go with anybody. It's such an immersive experience. It's such a cool, like, visual, like, fun show that you really don't need anyone to go with, because like you're not really talking during a musical. Like you're laser focused into the show. If you're not, then it might not be the best show. But exciting news, if you're like, oh, like Moulin Rouge sounds cool, but it's not really like my vibe, don't worry, there's other musicals that are coming your way that are going to be performing there. One is Hairspray, which I love Hairspray. I've seen so many times, so I might go see that one. But that is one of the musical plays that I've seen the most. So I'm like, maybe I'll save my money and watch something that I haven't seen. There's also The Lion King, which I've heard great things about, but I've personally never seen it. So that one's definitely on my list. But the one that I am very excited for, that I'm not even sure how it's gonna look as a musical. Like I'm like trying to imagine it. Like I can see the vision when I close my eyes. I'm like, okay, I see how this is gonna go down. But I just want to see it from my own eyes. like I want to see like how it's actually gonna go down. Like I know how like I can how I imagine it. Like there's a way I'm picturing this musical, but let me tell you what it is. It is Mean Girls. So Mean Girls, the musical is going to be a new musical that is going to be coming out to the Pantages, I think starting January 2023. So there is some time, but you best believe it, I'm going. I'm like ready to buy the tickets. Like it's already in my cart, ready to go. I'm just like rounding up a few more people to come with me because fuck, Mean Girls is legendary. Like, who doesn't want to see that? And who doesn't want to see Mean Girls in the musical? Like, I feel like even if you don't like musicals, you're just like, okay, I'm curious to see like what they would even do. Like, what songs are they gonna sing? Like, how is it gonna all flow? Um, if it's anything like the Moulin Rouge show, I have high hopes for it. So I'm like super excited. Obviously, we're probably gonna see a lot of pink, a lot of cattiness, but it's Mean Girls. What else do you expect, right? Okay, moving on to something else that I've been noticing a lot of that I wanted to point out is immersive experiences. And when I'm saying immersive experiences, I'm not saying like, I don't know, like the Van Gogh Museum, which is really cool too. Like, I'm not hating on that, but that's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I mean. I'm talking about like, let's take a second and realize how many immersive experiences they're making because the movie or the show does so well. So they're like, okay, like let's create like a little immersive event, charge everyone $100 and they'll come, which I was guilty of that. So when I'm talking immersive experience, for example, I went with my mom and my brother to the Bridgerton experience. It has been a very popular event ever since the show Bridgerton came out, especially after the second season, especially after the third season. It is so popular. If you don't know what it is, it's basically, I think it's based in like the 1600s. Don't quote me on that, but it's way before, I was gonna say way before our time, which that sounds a little fucked up to anyone that was born in that time. I'm sorry, don't haunt me. I'm scared. But anyway, it basically is based in a time where women only worried about getting married and having children because that was like what women did. So, you know, when you're the age of like 16, 18, you're like getting ready to find your Duke, right? So it's cool because it has great costumes. You're like, you feel like a princess almost, like you're like, oh, like let me go to this diamond ball and like, you know, find my Duke. So the show did so well. So of course, someone with a brain was like, let's make it an immersive experience. Let's make money if we can, which, hey, props to you. So I thought it was going to be a great idea to go with my mom because she loves Bridgerton. And I really enjoyed Bridgerton too. I thought it was a great show. We got my brother to go because why not? But check this out. You have to dress up. So you have to dress to the occasion. You don't like, they're not like, oh, you can't come in if you're not dressed up. But like everyone is dressed up, that if you're not dressed up, it's kind of awkward. Also, I love dressing up. So any excuse to dress up, I will dress up. I'm someone who would rather be overdressed than underdressed, but that's me personally. Anyway, we go to this event. It's called the Bridgerton Experience. It's in downtown Los Angeles. It's at the Biltmore. The Biltmore Hotel is very classy. It used to have a lot of old events back in early Hollywood days. Back in the day, they used to have award shows at the Biltmore. So it was a cool place to be. They had a great ballroom, a great area for this event to take place. So you enter and you're technically going to the Diamond Ball. If you've seen the show, you should know what the Diamond Ball is. If you haven't seen the show, I'm not going to spoil more. Just watch it. When you hear Diamond Ball, you're going to know what I'm talking about. But you go and it's like this beautiful archway with flowers and everyone's all dressed up and they like talk to you like they're in the show, right? So they're not like, yo, what's up? Like, welcome. They're like very proper, very classy. Like, welcome, my lady, welcome, my duke, like that, right? And you're supposed to like always bow and like be very formal and pristine and all that kind of stuff. Um, so you're entering this flower archway. It's amazing. It's beautiful. There's little clues around the room that you have to like try and piece together. And I think if you do, you get like something, but I didn't find all the clues. There was a bar, so that was fun. They had like special like drinks that matched the show. They had a lot of photo op areas, and then you like go to this main room where you watch a show, like you watch them like perform and dance, and it was like really cute. And then they're like, all right, time for you to learn to dance. And you're like, what? You're like, I didn't know this was a dance class, but it was fun. It was actually really cool. It was like a basic step dance that everyone could learn. So it didn't feel like, oh no, like I'm not a good dancer. Like, please don't make me do this. It was actually really fun. So we learned this dance, and then they're like, all right, you have a little bit of downtime, do your thing. They have like some area, like there's this like area where you can like take a group portrait photo, and it like basically draws you, like it paints you like into one of those like classic old portraits that you would see in like people's houses when they wanted like a self portrait of themselves or a portrait of them and their family. So that was really cool, a really unique thing that they had there that I didn't realize they would, which made the experience more fun. And then on top of that, after they like, okay, follow the queen into the next room. So it's like multiple rooms. So it feels like this is a really weird way to like compare it, but it's like when you do an escape room and then you like make it out of one room. This is an escape room with multiple like levels or multiple like rooms basically. I don't know. All the escape rooms that I've done in LA, they're not just one room. So that's what I mean. It goes from like one room to the other, and you're like, oh, you're so close. You're almost towards the end of the experience. This is the last room, blah, blah, blah. They do another dance. They do like some formal dancing, some fun dancing. And then the show ends, and they kind of give you like 30 minutes or 20 minutes of like free time where you can like dance on the dance floor with like modern day music in your outfits, and it's fun. They have like the DJ. You're just like, it kind of felt like homecoming. Like that's like the type of music they were playing like back when I was in high school, and you're like jamming out and like, yeah, dancing with my mom. But it was really fun. I really enjoyed it. I think my family enjoyed it. It was a really cool immersive experience. Another immersive experience that I know about that I didn't do, but my mom ended up doing with my brother was the Stranger Things experience. I know that show is trending right now because the new season is out. I haven't seen the new season actually, but I have watched Stranger Things. And I get the appeal and the thrill to like why you would want to go to immersive experience. And I'm telling you, I think this is going to be the future of all hit shows and all hit movies because it's like, why not? If it does so well with reviews and ratings, why wouldn't they do an immersive experience? And it is cool. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, I enjoy like feeling like maybe it's just me because like I'm in the film industry, so I like really enjoy like being like, oh, let's step into this world. But I think there's a niche for it. Like people like it, you know, like it's like a new thing that we've been doing basically since like COVID started. Like I don't think this has been happening before COVID, honestly. So this is a really new thing, like an immersive movie show experience that they've been doing. And it's like a pop-up event essentially. So it's like you have like a limited amount of time to do this. Like they maybe have it for like 3 months. So if you miss that immersive experience in the 3 months, that's it. So it's like I guess you could see it as like, oh, I was the lucky one to be able to go see the immersive experience, or maybe that's not your thing. But the Stranger Things was a little bit different. It was like you go into this like lab, and then they're like, oh, we're like experimenting on you, and then it's like you see the demogorgons and all this kind of stuff. So like you get the idea. It's pretty much a really cool thing to try out. Another one that I think they were doing, well, everyone was really obsessed with the show. So not only were there like a lot of YouTube videos trying to like recreate this, but the one that succeeded and did the best was Mr. Beast's Squid Games real life game. So he actually had like if you watch Squid Games, there's like this money bowl or money pig that like all the like money gets like collected in, and he had that he literally copied it to the T. Like when I'm telling you, it was like pinpoint 100% accurate to the show. I'm not even over exaggerating. It really was. It was super cool because you like You can actually watch this video on YouTube. So if you pause this video, if you want to see it, go watch Mr. Beast is his Squid Games tournament game. It was so entertaining. It's so accurate. He does every little thing to the T, like the little cookie, but then you have to like cut it out with like the needle. I would say I would want to maybe do like a Jurassic World immersive experience. That could be really cool, where you're maybe like an explorer and you go and you like see all the dinosaurs. I just want to go somewhere cool with dinosaurs. I feel like that'd be awesome. But yeah, immersive experiences based off of movies and shows are definitely going to be the new thing. I've been seeing some Alice in Wonderland stuff going around here in LA. Haven't done that one yet, but I think it probably is cool. I did do a Harry Potter one not too long ago, and that was really cool. You were making like potions and like learning spells, and you had to do like certain like tricks to open things, and that was really unique and special. So I liked it. I thought I think this is a good new thing that we're encountering and experiencing. So if you missed out on the Bridgerton experience or the Stranger Things experience, I'm sure there's going to be more and different experiences. So just stay tuned. Look, stay up to date with it. Speaking of events and experiences, this might be a interesting topic slash not everyone might like this because not everyone believes in this. So I recently got tickets to, sorry, I gotta readjust. Also, I need to take a sip of water, guys. I'm so thirsty. So the reason why I said that you guys might not believe in this or not really understand why I bought tickets to this, but I recently bought tickets to Tyler Henry's show. So for anyone who doesn't know who Tyler Henry is, which there might be a handful of people who don't know who Tyler Henry is because I just recently learned about this gentleman. He is a medium and he's a Hollywood medium. So he's definitely famous here in LA. He has read a lot of celebrities. Like, and when I say read or read or like done readings, he connects with someone who has passed away or with someone's like loved one or whatever the situation is. He actually has his own show on I don't know what channel it is, but I know he has his own show. It's called Tyler Henry, like Hollywood Medium or something. Yeah. And I was actually at work and I had a lunch break and I had my laptop and I was on YouTube just watching like random videos, and somehow Tyler Henry's reading it was like Tyler Henry's like best readings, like a compilation. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. Just want to see like if he's on point, like if he gets it. So I started watching it and he knew things that normal people, I guess like nobody would know. And I was like, okay, like I'm going to see if these people are in on it, like if they're like just faking it or pretending. So I was like laser focused, like looking at the screen, like, okay, let's see if there's any like giveaways. But I honestly felt like a very genuine reaction to all of them. I feel like when someone knows something that like really only you would know, it like hits differently. And I can say that I've experienced something like this from experience. I actually went to go see a medium after my cousin had passed away. Because we were very, very close. And we would, he always joked with me, like, I'm going to come haunt you if I ever die. Which sometimes I do feel like he's not haunting me, but he's definitely fucking with me. Like, I'll hear, like, stuff squeak or, like, footsteps. And I'm like, don't be scared. But anyway, I feel like when you die, there's something that happens. Like it's not the end. Like your energy, your soul, like you go somewhere. I don't know. Like I'm not a scientist. I'm not like here to like be like this is what happens 100%. But I do believe that there is something that happens after to your soul and your energy. I'm not sure 100% what, because no one has been able to come back and confirm it. But anyway, I got really, not obsessed. I got really intrigued. That's a better word. With Tyler Henry's readings. I was like, oh, this is really interesting. I was like, I wonder how much it would be to like get a reading, you know? Went on his website. There's like a fucking 2 year wait. Like, it's not happening. You can't just go and get a reading from him like a normal person. Unfortunately, he's that popular. Um, do I blame TV for this in this instant? Yeah, of course. Like, when you're that popular and you have a show, like, things do get, blown up, and then us regular people who aren't celebrities can't necessarily get a reading. So I was like, like, I wonder like how I would be able to. I somehow stumbled upon his shows. So he was like selling tickets to his shows, and I was like, how the fuck does that work? How do you go to a medium's shows? Which I'm still very intrigued and interested how this is going to go down. And I think that's maybe why I bought the tickets, because I was like, I just want to know what the fuck would happen. And basically, let me explain what it said. So apparently, you're gonna go there, and it's like a concert full, it's like an auditorium full of people, and essentially, he's gonna read someone in the room, not just one person, but like multiple people. And I guess it's like whoever comes through. So this is where it gets tricky. It's like, how do you know if it's real? How do you know if it's, fake? I guess like you're just gonna have to go and like experience it and really see like what he does and like see it in person. I mean, like there's gonna be big screens everywhere, so I'll definitely be able to see like how it goes down. But I've never been to a medium show before, so I'm definitely interested how that's gonna go. Maybe it's a giant scam. Maybe this is like something where they see an opportunity to take advantage of people who are, grieving or missing their loved ones, or like wanting to hold on to something. Or this is something that is real, and we don't know how it's real, and that scares us away, and we think it's fake. I don't know. So the reason why I brought this up is because I just want to hear people's perspectives on what they think about this type of show. Am I getting scammed, or could this be a real thing? A few more things before I end the episode. Let's talk about the movie The Black Phone. So I recently just watched the movie Black Phone. I know I'm a little bit behind. I'm honestly behind on a lot of movies because, like I said, I've been freaking working so many hours that when I get home, I'm so tired. I go straight to bed. When I'm telling you I'm going to bed at like 9:30, I am not joking. I'm not over exaggerating. Your girl is going to bed at 9:30 p.m. I used to literally fight my mom, not literally fight, like, but I'd be like, no, like I don't want to go to sleep, like as a kid. All right, guys, let's talk about the movie The Black Phone. Not only was it a little bit creepy, so if you don't like scary movies, I get why you didn't watch it, but it was trending. It was out there for people to want to watch and see, because Ethan Hawke is in it and his performance was pretty good. Very creepy. The reason why I feel like I wanted to talk about it is because I think it's a great example of a story that is very creepy because it's real. You're not like, it's not one of those scary movies where there's like a lot of ghosts or demons like popping out and like jump scares and stuff like that. It was scary because it's more like realistic to how people really are out there. And there's a lot of creeps, there's a lot of kidnapping going on it's gotten better, I would say, from like back in the 70s to like the 90s, just because we have so much we have surveillance cameras everywhere, like every store, every bank, every street has them. So kidnappings are caught a lot more now. Also, most people have, a cell phone, or not most people, most kids even have cell phones nowadays. So if that ever were to happen, there's a better chance of us finding the kid getting kidnapped now than before. So I did think it was interesting that they said it back in a time where, there wasn't social media, there wasn't like, you didn't have a cell phone as a kid, like there weren't like laptops, and that made it really scary. And it makes you think like, oh shit, like, there was a time where people wouldn't get in trouble for kidnapping as much. People could get away with murder because like there was no way to prove stuff like that. And what really creeped me out was it was a good way to show that like sometimes the scariest people like live on your block, live in your neighborhood. Ethan Hawke's character, he's called the Grabber in the movie, and he kidnaps boys. And okay, so this is where the movie lost me a little bit, because I'm just like, you had such a good like storyline. Like I was so intrigued by the storyline. Like this guy named the Grabber, he's just driving a creepy black van, and when he kidnaps you, he like has black balloons, and he basically like has this like spray that like makes you pass out. So it's like an easy like spray in the face, throw you in the truck, you wake up in a basement. Terrifying. Like literally, I don't think there's anything scarier than that. And this boy is basically stuck in this room with a black phone, and the black phone is supposed to be like a prop, like it doesn't actually work. So what was interesting was the phone would ring in the story, and he would essentially get calls from other boys that were kidnapped and held there, and they were like giving him advice like I use like a bottle cap, or I use this to try to escape, like try and use this, don't do that, like he'll try to kill you, like blah blah blah. So with the help of the previous dead boys that had been down there, he essentially finds a way to escape and everything and all that kind of stuff. So it has like a happy ending. But the reason why I brought it up is because I think it's a good experience, a good example of something missing in a movie that like could make it full and complete. For example, the Grabber I mentioned, he only grabs boys. It was never addressed why he only grabs boys. Like, why did he not want any girls? Like, was that not as fun for him? Like, is there a reason? Did he get molested? Did something happen? Like, I feel like we didn't get enough backstory to why he was doing that. And we were getting backstory of like all these other boys, of like how they were getting kidnapped and how it went down and who they were, like, and how they knew this main character, which was cool. Like, I'm glad we had that. But I feel like I basically wanted to know why he was kidnapping boys, like why, like what happened to him to do something so evil and to want to like just ruin an innocent child's life like that. And they show like that he had a brother and stuff like that, but still there was nothing that like shows us like what the relationship was like between him and the brother. Like, how did they grow up? Why was one brother so normal, or not normal, but like not a fucking kidnapper, and why was this guy a kidnapper? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like we need backstory for that. Like, it's like, I want to know, like, we need to be aware of these situations too. Um like it's not just enough to just like kidnap them. Like, tell me why he's kidnapping them. So I don't know. If you've seen the movie Black Phone, I want to know your opinion of what you thought, what it was missing. Maybe you saw something different that you felt like it needed, or maybe I'm totally wrong. Maybe you felt like you got enough backstory about who the Grabber was. But I just feel like when you really break down the script, you just don't really know that part, and that's like a really key part to know about why is the second main character, like, why don't we know anything about him? Like, what's the backstory? Like, that makes good writing. That's like something we have to know. Like, we have to know what led this person to do these terrible things, Now, to end the episode, our last topic of the day is going to be how to deal with getting hit on at work. Okay. This might sound like silly and funny, like, what do you mean? Like, ugh. But you're not safe anywhere, not even at work, not in the film industry, not even if it's not in the film industry. Like, it's just, you're going to get hit on at work, and it's going to happen. But how do you deal with that? And when does it become a problem? When is it not? Like, when do you laugh it off? And when are you like, okay, this is an HR violation? You know what I mean? Not recently, honestly, all my life, as like growing up, I've had to deal with creepy men. Like it's just like part of being a woman, I guess. It's fucked up to say, but I'm realizing like when you're a woman, you just kind of expect it. Like you just don't really like say no. You just like let it happen. You're just like, what the fuck? I don't need to let this happen. I don't need to feel uncomfortable at work, you know? And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I feel like women go through this all the time in their day jobs, but I feel like no one really talks about it, maybe in the film industry. And it happens as well. Like, the film industry is a very, very male run industry. So men can get away with things that women probably couldn't, or they just get away with it more. I don't know. But it's out there, and I just wanted to share like you don't have to fucking deal with it. There was this time when I was working on The Offer, and this one crew member just kept constantly asking me for my number and was trying to take me out on a date, and I was like very uncomfortable because I was working, and I'm just like I don't want this, like I'm not interested like this. And every day he would like come up to me and make my work very uncomfortable and was like trying to ask me out on dates, and it was like super inappropriate, honestly. And one of my coworkers noticed and was like, you don't have to deal with this, right? Like you don't have to just like shrug it off and laugh it off. Like if it bothers you, we can report it. And that like scared the shit out of me. Like I was just like, no, I don't want to get anybody in trouble. Like we're so used to like, oh, we don't want to get in trouble or we don't want to get somebody else in trouble. But like sometimes this behavior is unacceptable. Like think about if the roles were reversed. If you're a woman, you're constantly fucking harassing a man, or you're constantly like, hey, like let's like, okay, they might like it because they're like, oh my God, she's into me. But it's not appropriate. Like there's a time and place for it all. And like when I'm working at 4 a.m., that's like the last thing that I want. I don't want to get hit on by someone who's literally the same age as like my father or my grandpa. Just saying, not interested. Um, so I thought like, okay, I'll probably like never have to deal with that again. Lies, you just have to deal with it every day, apparently. New show, new production, like you just get like a few here and there where it's like they'll say like little slick comments. Like for example, like I said, I managed the COVID department for Fatal, um, and I was actually walking into one of the sound stages because I have to have eyes and oversight on basically everyone, making sure that they're complying, wearing their mask and everything. So I went to the stages to make sure that everybody was wearing a stage. I mean, wearing a stage, wearing a mask while they were working in the stages. And it was a lot of construction guys because, they're building a set. And I walk through and I'm like, hey, like, wear your mask, please. Like, I try to be very polite and like friendly about it. But the thing is, don't mistake the friendliness for being flirty because it's not. I'm just being nice and telling you how to like please wear your mask. That's not me being like, hey, I want you. Like I don't know where, like how where it gets twisted, but I guess, right? So I was like walking out and then I was like, okay, guys, I'm gonna be back in an hour. Like, I want to see more masks on. Like, don't make me like come back here more often. And then they're like, hell yeah, you'll be back. Yeah. And it just got awkward. I was just like, why did you have to like make that comment in front of all your like boys? And now it's just like, and it's weird because it shouldn't be happening to anyone, but let alone when you're like technically a manager. It's very inappropriate because like, would you talk to your male manager like that if you're a woman? I don't know. Or even if you're a male and you have a male manager, like you wouldn't say that. So I'm like, why like do you think it's okay to say stuff like that? And believe it or not, it happens all the time. And I don't even think they're noticing that they're doing it, or they're just so in their own world they don't care. I don't know what it is. But I don't know. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because I feel like we don't need we don't need to deal with it and just take it. I feel like all our lives we're so used to doing that because like you're kind of programmed to. But if we really want to see a change and a difference, we have to put our foot down. We have to say no. And this is like one of those situations where like it might feel super uncomfortable to say something. But it could also be like a simple warning, like, hey, like, this happened. It was inappropriate. I don't want to get this person in trouble. I just want to like throw it out there that this happened. If it happens again, it might be an issue later. Because you shouldn't have to work somewhere where you feel uncomfortable. And it shouldn't be a one-sided place. So if the company has your true interest and cares about you, they will take it seriously. I know we're programmed to be like, keep it to yourself. Like, it's scary. You don't want to get anyone in trouble. But like I said, like, fuck that. Fuck being scared. Honestly, I'm tired of always having to change things around to basically not have to like deal with inappropriate behavior or like things that you just wouldn't say. And like, why? I don't need to do that. We shouldn't have to do that. We as women shouldn't have to, at a workplace, accept it because it is what it is. No, it's not happening. So I just have a totally different mindset on that now, because for the longest time I would just like take it and like let the workplace be uncomfortable. But now I've reached a point in my life where I don't want to do that anymore, and I shouldn't have to. And I've been seeing that support from my new job, and it's a great feeling. So I just wanted to end the episode with that. You know, you have the power to control how your workday will be every single day. Even if it may seem like, no, like this guy's making me feel really uncomfortable, this girl's making me feel really uncomfortable, she's saying things like I can't say anything, they've been like in the industry for a long time, or they know it. Fuck that. No. We're done making excuses. If something's inappropriate, we're gonna stop it. All right, guys, that is it for me today. I will see you guys next week with a very special guest. I'm super excited for you guys to meet this person. So stay tuned for next week, because there's more entertainment, more uncensored stuff, and more insight. Bye, guys. Have a great week.